The first thing I noticed when I walked into the kitchen that morning was her. Standing there, barefoot on the cold tiles, wearing my shirt, and nothing else. For a moment, everything around me froze, the ticking clock, the faint hum of the fridge, even my thoughts. It wasn't about what she was wearing, it was about what it meant. About how much had changed between us, and how fragile the silence had become. I met Sarah 3 years ago on one of those rainy evenings that felt more like endings than beginnings. I was working late at a small repair shop, tired, frustrated, and honestly done with everything. She came in drenched, holding her broken phone, apologizing for the mess she was making on the floor. She laughed nervously, and that laugh, that soft, almost apologetic sound, somehow cracked open something in me. She had that kind of warmth that made ordinary moments feel lighter. Over time, she became my peace. We weren't perfect, I had my walls, she had her scars. But together, we made sense of the chaos. We'd talk for hours about dreams that never seemed to fit our lives, her wish to paint again, my stubborn hope to open my own garage one day. She'd tease me for being too serious, and I'd pretend not to notice how her laughter made every problem smaller. But love doesn't always come easy, even when it's real. Somewhere along the way, we stopped talking like we used to. The long shifts, the missed calls, the quiet dinners, they built walls we didn't even notice at first. I'd come home tired, she'd already be asleep. She started painting again, but never showed me what she was working on. We were there, but not together. And one night, after another pointless argument about nothing at all, she packed a small bag and left. She didn't say goodbye, just left her favorite mug by the sink and my shirt on the chair. I didn't chase her. I told myself she needed space. Truth was, I was too proud, or maybe too scared, to admit how much I'd already lost. Days turned into weeks. I'd come home to silence and pretend it didn't hurt. Her laughter still echoed in the corners of that apartment, her scent lingered on the pillow, and my heart kept waiting for the sound of her key turning in the lock. But it never came. Until that morning. I woke up to the smell of coffee, the kind she used to make when she wanted to apologize, sweet, strong, just the way I liked it. I walked into the kitchen half asleep, and there she was, hair messy, eyes soft but unsure, wearing my shirt like it belonged to her all along. She looked up, smiled faintly, and whispered, "You still take your coffee black?" I didn't answer right away. My mind was trying to understand if she was really there or if I was dreaming again, one of those cruel dreams that fade when you reach out. But she was real. Her hand trembled when she lifted the cup toward me. I saw the way her eyes glistened, the kind of eyes that had cried too much but still hoped. We didn't talk for a while. Just stood there, both afraid of what the silence might mean. Finally, she said, "I came to return something." I looked at her, confused, until she glanced down at the shirt she was wearing. "I guess I forgot this was yours," she said with a weak smile. "But, it always felt like home." The words hit harder than I expected. I wanted to tell her that nothing, not the distance, not the silence, had changed how I felt. That the apartment hadn't felt like home since she left. But the words stuck in my throat. So I just nodded. Then she took a deep breath and said, "I wasn't happy without you. But I wasn't happy with how we were either. We stopped being us, and I don't want to go back to that version of us again." She looked at me, eyes trembling, and added, "I want to try again, but this time, not like before. I want to rebuild it. Slowly. Honestly." I stared at her for a long moment. All the memories, the laughter, the nights of silence, they flooded back like a movie playing too fast. I stepped closer and whispered, "Then stay. But only if we promise not to lose each other again." She nodded, her eyes softening. "Then we start from here," she said quietly, placing her hand over my chest. "From where it still beats for me." And just like that, the air between us shifted. Not perfect, not magical, but real. We spent that day talking, really talking. About everything we'd been too afraid to say before. About forgiveness, about fear, about love that isn't always easy but worth fighting for. We laughed through tears, cooked breakfast together, and watched the morning light spill across the floor like it was painting us a new beginning. Weeks passed, and things didn't suddenly become perfect, but there was honesty now. She started painting again, this time showing me her work. I opened my small garage, and she painted a sign for it, a small heart hidden in one corner, her silent way of saying she believed in me. We learned that love isn't just in grand gestures or sweet words, it's in showing up, even when it's hard. Months later, I came home after a long day, tired but content. She was there again, in the kitchen, wearing my shirt, and nothing else. But this time, it didn't feel fragile. It felt like home. She turned, smiled, and said, "You remember the first morning I came back?" I nodded. She walked over, placed her arms around me, and whispered, "Thank you for not giving up on us." I looked at her, the woman who once walked away but came back stronger, braver, more hers, and more mine. And I realized something that would stay with me forever. Sometimes love doesn't come easy. Sometimes it leaves, only to find its way back when you're finally ready to hold it right. And as I held her close, the world quieted again, not in loneliness, but in peace. Because this time, I knew we weren't just together. We were home.